Hi there, it is Jo from Minerva and I'm here for a super quick tutorial today just to let you know what Maraflex Thread is. If you've not seen it before or you've seen it tagged underneath another Minerva Makers project, then you might wonder why they chose a different thread to a polyester all-purpose thread. I use Maraflex Thread when I made this t-shirt. So this is a Minerva core range striped jersey. It's super quality. I mean, it's really thick, makes fabulous t-shirts, pajamas. It's thick enough to make a wrap dress or something that's more substantial. This is the Rio Ringer tee, the True Bias tee, and I switched the stripe around because it's a four-way stretch, so I could have enough stretch on the neckband and the sleeves to make a little feature. I used Maraflex thread when I sewed this because it meant I could get a stretchy neckband whilst using my straight stitch. This is Maraflex thread. It is a thread from Gutermann. It's got a stretch, not massively, but a give, which means that you can use a straight stitch when you use this thread. It's on a yellow spool, so you know it's different to your other ones. And it says Maraflex on it, so you won't get them mixed up. And I also mark my bobbins with a Sharpie to show that this one's got Maraflex thread on it, so that I don't waste this thread just using it as a cotton bobbin thread. Okay, I've got my bobbin threaded up, I've got some stretched jersey, and I'm going to use my Maraflex thread. I think this thread really comes into its own if you've got a machine with dial choices, so not a computerized machine, not a hybrid machine. If you've got a nice basic sewing machine that does a lovely straight stitch, then the Maraflex thread makes up for the fact that you may not be able to choose a lot of different stitch widths when you have a zigzag. So if you are using a computerized sewing machine sewing stretch, then I might use a zigzag on a very, very narrow stitch. But the narrowest one that I can do on here still looks like a zigzag, and it still leaves quite an indent in my seam line. But with the Maraflex thread, I can choose my medium here. I've got a few different stitch lengths, 1, 2, 3, 4. I've got 5 different stitch lengths, and if I choose the one in the middle, I can combine that longer stitch length with the stretchy thread. So I don't have to worry about not being able to choose and select the different parts of my stitch. I can just get the thread to do that bit while I scoot along with a straight stitch. When I've sewn the straight line, that is still stretchy. I haven't chosen zigzag, I haven't chosen a special stretch stitch because this machine doesn't have it. I've just used the Maraflex thread, which is taking up all of the heavy lifting there. It's doing all of the stretch. You can also use your zigzag if you use that to finish your edges. If you're using a basic sewing machine, you're not using an overlocker, then you can use the Maraflex thread in combination with a zigzag stitch for your overlock on stretch or your seam finishing. That gives you added stretch too, especially if this is going around a sleeve head. Then you've got room for this to be the seam line and for your outer fabric to stretch and move with you, and they both work in harmony. And that's how you use Maraflex thread. I hope that's answered your questions on Maraflex thread. If you have any other questions, you can leave those in the comments below. But if you're choosing a stretch project as your next sewing garment, then you might want to pop a couple of those in your basket. They're really, really great, especially if you've got that kind of sewing machine where you can't change the stitch width and stitch length. We would love to see anything that you've been making, so do make a free account over at Minerva and share your makes and inspire other Minerva makers. We have lots of content for you to enjoy over at our YouTube channel, Minerva, or on our Minerva website, where you can also check out our products. Thank you very much for watching. We'll call again soon.